Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Monday, August 12th, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. A geomagnetic storm has been ongoing now for 24 hours. We got all the way up to G4, extreme geomagnetic storm, about 12 hours ago, and the forecast is for more geomagnetic storm for the next 24 hours. We're also keeping a close eye on the tropics as Tropical Storm Ernesto has formed, and bad news for Greece. Evacuations ordered near Athens as Greek authorities try to contain wildfires. Keep calm, it's boom time. Forecasters issued tropical storm warnings for the Northeast Caribbean region as Tropical Storm Ernesto forms on its way to becoming Hurricane Ernesto in the coming days. We'll take a quick look over at the key message currently for Tropical Storm Ernesto. As you can see the track, we'll show you some spaghetti models in just a moment. Here is the key message for Tropical Storm Ernesto as of 5 p.m. Monday, August 12th. Ernesto is expected to bring tropical storm conditions to portions of the Leeward Islands late tonight and Tuesday, and to the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico by late Tuesday. Tropical storm warnings are in effect for the entire area. Heavy rainfall may result in locally considerable flash flooding and mudslides in areas of the Leeward and Virgin Islands through Wednesday and over Puerto Rico late Tuesday into Thursday. It's too soon to know what impacts Ernesto could bring to Bermuda late this week, and interest there should monitor the progress of this system as we are. As you can see, the current tracks showing Hurricane Ernesto heading right towards Bermuda by Saturday. Quick look over at the spaghetti models, and they are all honing in on Bermuda here. So in a few days, we'll obviously have a much better idea of the track. So stay tuned for more updates. Colorado wildfire that damaged or destroyed 30 homes was human-caused. Like most of them, the Alexander Mountain Fire has burned more than 9,000 acres in Larimer County since it started on the 29th of July. Investigators found it was started by a person, just like the Park Fire, which is one of the largest wildfires in California history. Stupid humans are always to blame. And blaming stupid humans, take a look at the smoke they create from all of these wildfires. The good news is the Four Corners region where we are is in the clear. The rest of the east and the northern plains all smoked out. Here's the full forecast. Tropical Storm Ernesto forms, and fire weather concerns in the Great Basin. Hot temperatures return to the south central U.S. Tropical Storm Ernesto is expected to bring heavy rainfall, considerable flash flooding and mudslides to portions of the USVI and Puerto Rico Tuesday and into Thursday. Tropical storm warnings have been issued. Dry conditions in the northwest continue to support fire weather potential, and there doesn't look like there is any relief in sight. We'll show you the precipitation map in just a moment. Areas along the Gulf Coast and within the southern plains may see triple-digit high temperatures this week, so make sure your swamp cooler is working. Here we are over at the GFS model, and we're going to move it through rapidly here to see the path of Ernesto on the GFS, which shows it moving to the west of Bermuda here, which would be very good news. The problem is this model is far out, and yesterday it was showing it move to the east. So it's probably going to fall somewhere in between the two, which is directly landfall on Bermuda. Bad news there. Over to the precipitation. We'll take a look at the total accumulated precipitation on the map to see if we can put out any of those fires in the northwest and run it through. It is a very dry pattern out here. Look at this dry hole. This goes all the way to the end of August, my birthday, August 28th. How do you like them apples? And it doesn't appear as if any of Mother Nature's help is coming for the wildfires. East of the Mississippi is another thing altogether. Take a look at those totals. Most areas getting between 1 and 4 inches of rain in the next few weeks. Deadly polar bear attack highlights the growing threat of, well, polar bears, which We've been told for years have been dwindling. The exact opposite is the truth. Polar bear populations have reached an all-time high with 30, potentially 40,000 bears now populating the Arctic region. Not only that, we've got record cold sweeping Brazil and Antarctica back below minus 70 C. That's almost minus 100 Fahrenheit, for goodness sakes. Certainly not anything catastrophic melting there. Evacuations ordered near Athens as Greek authorities try to contain wildfires. It's not going very well. Hundreds of firefighters are battling major wildfires raging out of control on the fringes of the Greek capital. And we do have the latest updates. Thousands of residents are being evacuated from their homes as wildfire spreads towards Athens. More than 700 firefighters have been deployed with strong winds causing flare-ups in more than 40 areas. Fire brigade spokesman Vasis, whatever his name is, VV said winds were up to 7 on the Beaufort scale, whatever that is. The fire front ranges from the village of Grammatikos in the north to the suburb of Penteli. And we do have a map here of where the fire is happening. If I could just scroll down and find it. And here is the wildfire spreading to the edges of Athens. Here, Athens to the south, and it looks like the suburbs are on fire. Hopefully the wind is blowing north. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all those affected in Greece. A 4.4 earthquake hit LA County earlier today, shaking buildings and rattling nerves across Southern California. The earthquake struck a heavy populated section of LA County on Monday, shaking buildings and leaving residents rattled through the region. There were actually no reports of major damage or injuries, but shaking was felt from San Diego County to the Simi Valley and out to Victorville in the Redlands, according to the USGS. Those living closest to the quake shared videos of a major jolt and rattling that elicited a few screams and sent frightening pets scrambling, like this video. What I find interesting is this dog already knows an earthquake is coming. He gets up right before it happens. So, maybe you could use your dog to save your life, perhaps. Seismic update. Let's take a quick look at that 4.4 here in Highland Park. Really, no aftershocks happening. We just had a frat quake here in Oklahoma. Nothing to write home about. Overall, low-level activity worldwide. Interesting intraplate here, 5.4 in the South Pacific Ocean. Kind of interesting. But overall, normal activity worldwide as we're keeping a close eye on the Reykjanes Peninsula as we wait for the 10th eruption from the Reykjanes Peninsula, which is expected to happen anytime now. It doesn't look like anytime now is now. So stay tuned for more updates, and you will be the first to know when Iceland erupts again if you tune in to the channel. Worldwide volcano news update for the 12th of August. Sabancaya to 21,000 feet earlier today. Sangay to 23,000. Reventador, 14,000 foot puff. Take a look at White Island. Elevated SO2 concentrations suggest magma at shallow levels. And thank God there are no more tours on that island. Dukono puffing to 8,000 foot today. Fuego to 14,000 foot. Ibu to 8,000. Liwatobi to 11,000. Santa Huito, 14,000 foot puff. Dukono puffing to 8. Sangay to 19,000 foot. Sabancaya, 23,000 foot puff there. Ibu to 8,000 foot. Liwatobi volcano, 6,000 foot puff today. Semeru puffing to 15,000 foot. Reventador, 16,000 foot puff. Swanos Hema, 6,000 foot. Volcanic ash advisory. White Island to 6,000 foot today. And where are we? Sabancaya, 23,000. Sangay to 20,000. Semeru, who knew? Now you do 15,000 foot puff earlier today. Sakonejima puffing to 9,000 foot. And White Island, 6,000 foot. Ibu to 8,000. Liwatobi to 12,000. Wrapping up the list for August 12th and even into the 13th. Take a look at that. Northern Lights and the Perseids peaked last night, and they put on a rare, dazzling sky show overnight. And the pictures were, well, amazing. Depending on where you were, better aurora towards the Arctic, and aurora as far south as Texas, the nexus of the Schmexus. Even here in Pagosa, aurora was captured. Quick look over at the current geomagnetic overview. You can see we've been in geomagnetic storm now for 24 hours straight, starting with a jump up to KP 6.3, peaking at KP 8, and now we're back to KP 6. This should refresh any time now. And you could see telemetry density is rising again, but the BZ has shifted from south and is moving back north. If this comes back south, we will go back into extreme geomagnetic storm. Even though the plasma speed is quite low for the whole event, never got to 600 kilometers per second. It was this dramatic shift south, here, and here, finally, that brought KP 8 to Earth and in the amazing geomagnetic storm. It's now waning now, which means the forecast isn't as good as the last 2 days. But if we come over to the detailed forecast, it's showing for all of the 13th, which just started an hour ago, that we could reverberate back into extreme G4 geomagnetic storm in the next 12 hours. If that happens in the next 12 hours, that's going to be, or less, it's going to be an amazing night for watching aurora in North America. Here is tonight's aurora forecast. So make sure if you are out late tonight, look to the north and pray for the aurora. Hackers leaked 2.7 billion data records with social security numbers. What could go wrong? Well, almost 2.7 billion records of personal information for people in the United States were leaked on a hacking forum, exposing names, social security numbers, all known physical addresses, and possible aliases. Holy macaroni. This is the future, the dystopian future we are entering now, as well as World War III. 35 stealth fighters? What? A U.S. Navy carrier strike group equipped with F-35 stealth fighters is rushing to the Middle East, along with a submarine packed with Tomahawk missiles. What could go wrong? Defense Secretary orders submarine to the Middle East, accelerates the arrival of a strike group ahead of anticipated Iranian attack. And that's not all. Russia is evacuating 180,000 civilians as Putin decries the attack on the Kursk region, and World War III is just heating up. You know what that means? Yeah, the Black Swan event. The internet goes down. No more electricity, an EMP, a blackout that could last months or years. Are you prepared? Do you need emergency medication? Well, look no further than the Jace case, where you can get up to 1 year of emergency medication to keep you alive in case of an emergency. No need to use your doctor. No need for any funny questions. Use our doctors and get exactly the personalized emergency case you need for anything that you can imagine, from pneumonia to Lyme disease to urinary tract infections to every single antibiotic available ever, including albuterol. Do you have asthma? Even ivermectin. Customize your Jace case, support our channel, and support your preparedness. And if you didn't know, one of the biggest interviews ever, an X Space happening now, had 1.3 million people live just a moment ago. Please, everyone, go over and check out the space with Elon Musk and Donald Trump on X. You can find it at our page right here, Oppenheimer Ranch Project at Diamond the Dave. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. They don't want this information to get out. And it is getting very bad. There was a DDoS attack earlier on the interview, but Elon Musk was able to thwart it and get it back up and running. It's only the beginning. We have a few months to the election, and well, it is going to be a very interesting few months indeed. Hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do and watch all of our podcasts one place commercial free. Be safe. We love you. And that's a boom.